I'll be so lonely. If you're leaving, baby, let me down slowly. Let me down.
We gotta react to the oppression of the Western woman. Let's go. Let's have some fun. Let's enjoy ourselves. We're gonna share our thoughts here, and it's gonna be good. So, let me explain something before we continue here. I'm gonna make one, this one, two, another one, probably another day, three, again another day, videos. These videos are gonna go to YouTube, but they're gonna be like a test. I need to search. I'm searching something, and I want to see some things. Let's just put it. Let's not get in the specifics here. There's 3 tests for me to see something. Let's put it that way, okay? But I think they're gonna be good videos. I'm gonna freaking enjoy them. And let's go. I mean, I'm gonna enjoy them. I don't know about you guys. You can tell me in the comments. Rambo.
Was about oppression, and you said you got quite.
Yeah, because I already know what you're gonna ask me, and I'm just gonna tell you this now.
Okay.
Google. You can
Google.
look up Google.
Google.
But it's not my job to school you on something that you should have learned in school. Women have been oppressed, and women still are oppressed because there are literal child slaves. There are black women, disabled women that experience.
So the black men, disabled men as well. So what the fuck are you talking about, dummy?
All the time, and Native American women as well.
Huh?
And
Native American women.
It's also Native American men as well. Aren't they oppressed?
I'm talking about women right now.
You're talking about women?
Yeah, because the question was how women have been oppressed, and I'm just gonna say it's not my job to educate you and school you on that. And if you don't know,
I don't think you can educate anyone. You cannot even educate yourself. So how the fuck are you gonna educate anybody else?
If I reject your presuppositions, then you do need to explain to me.
no, I'm telling you this. I'm telling you, like, it's not my job to school you. Like, you should have learned this in school. And honestly, it's a little scary that you don't know how women have been oppressed in the past. Because, like, this country was, like, built for men. And these, like, laws and rules, like, it's all to, like, for men, you know? Like, it was built for men.
No, dummy, it was not built for men because men built it.
And like this podcast enough is showing me that sexism is still really alive.
Can I ask
you think this podcast is sexist?
I was posted on so many red pill incel accounts. Yes, it's giving incel a lot.
Oh man. Okay, all the buzzwords are coming out. I don't even know where to start tackling this. Okay, so
Brian looks so young there, man.
Women were oppressed in history, but so were men. It's not.
Not as much as women
now
were.
this is interesting because if I say how were women were oppressed, you're like, well, it's self-evident, Brian. I shouldn't have to educate you. Yet you've just asked me the same question. You've just asked how were men oppressed. Shouldn't you know?
No, because that wasn't taught in school.
So isn't that interesting? Male oppression was never taught in school, but females' oppression was. Isn't that interesting? So who's really oppressed then?
Oh my God, Brian.
If men's grievances throughout
point.
history are overlooked, who's the real one that's oppressed? Perhaps you don't even believe men are oppressed.
Don't, to be honest.
You don't?
Yeah.
That's why you are.
There's men.
Think of one. Give me one.
So many men literally killed all the time over domestic violence and domestic abuse to the point where.
That's irrelevant, but okay.
Okay.
That happens. There's certainly violence, sure.
Yeah, there is a lot of violence against
But
women.
when you think of oppression, what is your definition of oppression?
There's a lot of violence against men as well, from men and from women.
I don't know. know really how to explain it, to be honest. But I'm just
I mean, you
telling
use the word, you ought to know how to define it.
Let's think about like that. Like, let's think about that. Okay. So she's saying there is a lot of violence for women, right? This is why I do understand what she's saying. Yes, there are dumb fucks out there that they gonna do whatever it takes to fuck a woman. Let's be honest here. But let's go into reality a little bit and think, who's actually getting more hurt, women or men? Of course men. Why? Very simple. Men get hit by their woman and they cannot hit them back. The right men. Even though sometimes they do deserve it. And men get hit a lot about other men. Women from the other side, they don't get hit up from other women. They might hit from men, which is really rare to see. So I think she's fucking wrong completely.
If you just use the word.
Yeah, I just don't know exactly how to, like, why do you want me to explain that? That's what I'm getting.
Well, I
like,
mean, you've used a word, you ought to be able to.
yeah, you're just putting me on the spot. You just want to embarrass me, and I'm
I'm
to
not-
tell you this now. It's not gonna
You embarrassing yourself. He doesn't have to embarrass you.
happen, Brian. Because guess what? I'll dip right now if
because
you're gonna.
because we're having a polite conversation.
No, because I already know what this is about. We talked about this last podcast, so why do you want to bring it up again?
We didn't really talk about
Okay,
it.
well, I'm not going to say anything else because it's not my job to school you and educate you, Brian.
Well, I mean, that's a very
And I'm not
convenient.
going to say anything else, and I'm going to stay quiet now.
I mean, that's a very convenient way to.
Yeah, back off.
Shut
That's
down
what you do,
otherwise polite
I guess, in your life.
conversation.
You're a quitter.
I gave you an opportunity to speak, so I think you should. You're just not going to talk. Why is this such a sensitive subject for you?
Because
She
Can't,
talks.
but let me ask you a question. Can we engage in this?
I don't
in,
want to,
hold
Brian.
on,
I didn't
hold
even
on.
want to come
Stop
here in the
interrupting.
first
So
place.
why are you here?
You literally asked me to be here. I
So?
said no thanks. And you're like, come on.
Okay, well,
You came though.
and
And what?
but what? But why don't you want to have this conversation? Like, we can have a
Because I
good.
think
Can
it's
you stop interrupting? We can have a good
Or
faith conversation
With
about
other,
this.
with other words, go make a sandwich.
Like, I don't understand why we can't just have a.
Super chatted $49.99. Nanny, you condemned domestic violence but openly admitted to assaulting your ex-boyfriend with your purse.
Like,
How
we
about
can- It's totally okay
think
to
I was
have
right.
a conversation about.
Hmm?
I suppose what is for you an uncomfortable subject. But I don't see why you need to shut down the conversation. Like, I've been perfectly.
Because she has no arguments. She's just speaking bullshit. That's it. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She feels that way, so she has to act. This is how most women are, man. That's the reality.
polite to you.
My
Yeah,
feelings,
but
my
I just
feelings.
don't want to answer it, Brian. Can
Well-
you respect that?
Sotero super chatted $50. Crazy. Anytime that I see females bring up women oppression on podcast, they never give examples, but instead they just say look it up or that you should already know.
Because it's true. So many, like, why would I have to explain it to you, Brian? Like, just be respectful. I'm not going to say anything more about it because I feel uncomfortable talking about it.
Why? But you weren't uncomfortable until I started pushing back on you.
Yeah. Because it's coming
10
from a
out of
place
10.
of hate.
Humble super chatted
It's not. It's not
$50.
coming from a place of hate.
Okay, my super chat budget is getting a bit strained now. However, Bangs, please watch the documentary The Red Pill
Oh,
by
absolutely
Cassie
not.
J. It made a
Wait,
very
is that a documentary about red pill? I did not know that.
Eco
good
chamber.
impression on my previously negative and feminist girlfriend.
Eco chamber.
Let me ask.
So-
Let me ask you something. So, like, hold on. Let me rephrase my thoughts.
Uh-oh.
A lot of people in both red pill, blue pill community could benefit from this conversation. And this is again back to the previous conversation where this is the problem. Let's have a civil discourse. Let's talk about it. And most people resort to shutting down. People are trying to understand.
He's not trying to understand. He's trying to get some views. He literally said, let's make
Good. Why not? you're honestly there because he's using you for views. So what? You're there. You said yes. You're not a prisoner. Leave. Why you not leaving?
Let's make it spicy or whatever. Like, let's get you heated because he knows that's gonna get him good revenue.
And this is
he knows that.
Well, I didn't say
here's
that.
That's the only thing she said right at this point.
the
But I
thing.
said-
It's because you want to know why it gets so many views. It's because this is the problem that we're facing.
Conversations like
So if we're able to actually have this conversation, I would also like to understand your point of view. I understand like it could come off as a bit like attacking, but a lot of people out there, a majority of people, are trying to understand the situation, men and women. So if you're for women,
But
True.
no matter
Help us
anything I
out.
say, it's still not going to change your guys' beliefs because you guys like live by this. Like Brian has
Okay,
this
here's another
whole
thing.
podcast
let
about
me
it.
just address that.
yeah, of course.
Okay, so
Like
the
I just don't
purpose,
think-
let me just explain something. The purpose of debate isn't necessarily to convince
Someone.
the person that you're debating with.
Oh, I'm
It's
right.
To convince the audience.
I don't want to
Because
convince
I'm
the
not
gonna
audience, bro. This
but-
is about
It is to convince the audience he's right, and at the same time is to defend yourself, defend your beliefs.
a bunch of like incels. I don't
No,
want to. They're
okay,
not
first
gonna
off, don't
listen
insult
to
my
me.
audience. They're not incels. Okay, so,
Okay.
no, don't disrespect the platform, okay?
And
So-
she's saying that Brian put something out of hate, but she calls his audience insults. Like, okay,
The purpose of a debate is not necessarily to convince the other person, it's to convince the viewer, the listener. But it's just interesting because I gave you a minute, 2 minutes to explain your position, and then
bro,
when I
she
pushed back a
doesn't know
little
what to
bit, you're like,
explain.
no,
She doesn't
we're done.
understand what she's talking about.
Like-
Yeah, 'cause
she
I
just
don't- I
speaks
don't have
out
the
of her
time. It's like,
feelings.
Brian, it's so late. I have like a long drive back home, and honestly, I don't want to like argue right now. To be honest, maybe if you brought it up like a little bit sooner, like I'm kind of worn out, to be honest.
Well, maybe we'll have to do.
I don't think you're honest
round
here.
3. I will end it on this though. I think I will. I don't expect you to respond, and you don't have to respond, but I will at least address the points that you brought up. So you said that. Basically the patriarchy theory, that men built this country for other men. Now, I agree with you on the first part. Men did build this country. However, men didn't build it for the benefit of other men.
Yep.
They built it for their families, their wives, their sons, their daughters. So I agree with you that yes, this country and all countries, in fact, have been built.
That's why feminism fuck women's brains, guys. Most women's brains nowadays are fucked. They're fucked, bro. And if you guys are single, good job. Find the right one, even though there are not too many out there, to be honest with you. Don't feel bad for yourself if you are I don't know how old are you, but your parents had a girlfriend at 21, because guys, things are different now. They are. This 50-50 bullshit doesn't work. That's the whole point. I'm not gonna say more because the video can get down if I talk a lot. Because we don't even have completely freedom of speech, but I'm gonna try to make them a point as much as possible I can make it. So yeah, what did I say? Things are different. Don't feel bad. Do your best and don't stop.
On the backs of men, but it's not for the benefit of other men.
But when I'm saying that, don't even dare to feel comfortable and be like, oh, okay, he's right, I'm fine. No. You need to if you want to, and if you want to, and this is the time for you, you need to start doing something to find a woman with your life, because a woman can do two things in your life: destroy it or build it up. So that's your call.
In fact, they've actually done studies on this. Men have an out-group bias. So men have an out-group bias for women, whereas women have an in-group bias for other women. In other words, the sisterhood. There's a sisterhood amongst women. There's not a brotherhood amongst men, at least to the same degree that there's a sisterhood amongst women.
I disagree with
Every
that.
single thing that you see around you, the buildings you live in, the streets you drive in, the infrastructure.
I disagree with what he said about there is brotherhood, bro. There is. And brotherhood, I mean, yeah, I do think personally brotherhood is a lot more powerful than sisterhood. Because let's see it about that way, okay? Two friends, they can break up for a guy. Two female friends, they can break up their friendship for a guy. A lot easier than a man can break up his friendship for a girl. A man, not a simp. There's a huge difference. Not a simp, a real man. Okay?
Structure that you rely on to survive was all built, created, and is maintained by good, honest, hardworking men that simply want to provide for their family. It's not
Thank you, Brian.
men wanting to
Sure.
oppress women. It's just men that want to work and provide for their family.
Then why couldn't women vote?
Because men were
You want me to tell you why women I don't think that women should vote? I'm gonna tell you right now why. If there's a time for the world to go to war and votes come in and women say, yeah, I vote for a war or whatever, right? They're not gonna go to war. You are gonna go to war. A guy is gonna go to war. I don't know if a woman watching that video. If it is not you, the guy watching that video, you're gonna go to war because of her vote. You can vote no, but if a lot of them vote yes, you go to war, buddy. You, not them. That's why they should not vote. Because it's not fair. There's not equality here. Why the fuck you want equality with men, but you don't want to do what you have to do? That doesn't work like that. But unfortunately, it does in reality. And I completely disagree with that. If you want to earn something, you have to earn it. Everything that most women have in their life is gifted to them by other men. Everything that men have in their life is earned from them by themselves. That's the difference here.
subject to military conscription.
Because women didn't want to vote either at some point. Because if they voted, then that means they have to be drafted too.
W.
Isn't that correct?
W.
Yes. Yeah, the reason, by the way, throughout the vast majority of human history, men didn't have the vote either. There was a small percentage of men who had power.
I think that's stupid.
The rest of the men were also oppressed alongside all of the women that were oppressed. It was like, you know, previously you had tyrants and kings and dictators.
Yeah.
Men couldn't vote. This is like voting came around.
I mean,
like, broadly speaking, in the 1900s.
Sure. Sure, but they can. And you can be like, what are you talking about? No, when a king speaks, it has to happen. True. But why I'm saying they can? They can overthrow the king. So at the end of the day, the world always won. Always has a victory if they want to.
Late 1800s, 1900s,
And they have the guts to
now
do it.
obviously, well, in 1920 is when women got the right to vote. So this voting thing's very new. Democracy is very new. Most people never had the right to vote. The way men had the right to vote was because of warfare.
Earned. It was
Because men
earned.
could be drafted and sent to
Yeah.
fucking the Maginot Line in France and go in the trenches and get trench foot and get chemical gassed. And to this day, women were able to secure the vote without the corresponding responsibility. Women have a right
W.
without a responsibility. Men have a right with a responsibility. That responsibility is you have to die for your country.
Dexy donated $50.
Thank you, man.
It's crazy when we don't go in her direction, or we put forward an argument. She closes. This is not a debate. She uses words that she doesn't know the definition. Female oppression.
Yo, Dexter, thank you for the $50 super chat. So just to wrap this whole
She's
thing
peace. Look at here.
up, yeah, when it comes to voting, basically, men to this day are subject to military conscription. I have this here. You want to talk about?
I mean, it's not even
systematic
hard to
oppression.
piss her off.
I don't know if you've heard of the selective service system.
That's good for fat.
So I don't know if you can
It's
read
over.
this.
You won.
Men 18 to 25 years old. Sorry, I need to eat. My hands are fucking shaking. So
What?
this is a draft. Ignore the bright colors. If you open this up, here, take a look at that. Here, take it. Take it. This is a draft registration form. It says 18 to 25-year-old men. Only men are subject to military conscription. That's why men got the right to vote before women.
I think
Okay.
still to this day, women don't want to be drafted,
Well, they do, and they can't.
and they can't.
They can't.
And
So
they
there's
should not
wrong with
be.
that.
We care
No one-
about
you
women.
don't
That's
see
the
anyone
point.
pushing
People
back
think
on
that we hate women because we think they're better. We are better than them. Nobody said we are better than them. Nobody said that. Wake up, for real, bro. They're just making things up.
I want to be drafted.
We love our women. I mean, to be honest, nowadays not that much, but we do still love them. And I'm saying not that much because, bro, most women nowadays are like, fucked, man. They're just fucked. Like, they can't even cook. They're not gonna offer you anything in life. The only thing they offer you is the body. That's it. That's all they can offer. And if that, some of them beats about that now. Bro, I hear stuff that women don't want to take your last name. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Respect your man. Take care of your man. Like, what's the point of life if you want to become a mother, whatever, have a family, get married, if you don't respect your man? What's the point?
Like, nobody wants to be drafted. I
Yeah,
don't
but
think
if
anybody
only
women
wants
were
to be
men.
drafted.
oppressed, they would be doing that.
No, because the
Equality,
reason
right?
why
It's-
why women aren't drafted
Yeah.
or put on the front line
Yeah.
is because women aren't seen as intimidating to
Okay, good work.
to the enemy, you know? Like, they're putting men because men are like stronger, biologically stronger,
Sure.
biologically, like, they don't want women there for a reason.
Sure. Well, you're okay. You're not
You're not
totally
wrong.
wrong. Yes, men, generally speaking, are more suited for warfare.
Yeah.
Men are. It's a biological reality. Men are physically stronger than women. Now, I mean, in today's modern warfare, physical strength is still a factor, but I mean, the way we conduct warfare now is very different. So women can participate much more to some degree. In combat roles, it's still, I mean, in any case, we don't need to get into the whole military thing, but
I would say
the difference is, if we're talking about equality, though, disregard, well, maybe men make better soldiers. Let's say an 18-year-old man who doesn't want to go to war, doesn't want to go get sent, take Ukraine, for example. All the women could leave the country. All the men had to stay. You could not leave the country. You cannot leave Ukraine if you were a man between the ages of 18 and like 60.
But the
65.
woman had fun in the
While
in the
all the
clubs
women in
of the other
Ukraine-
countries.
Actually, I matched with some girls on Tinder, like when the was heavy as in Ukraine, when Kiev was getting scorched up.
Most women.
I was
yeah.
matching with chicks on Tinder and
That's
Hinge
insane,
and
man.
shit.
That's insane.
If you're a Ukrainian woman, you get to go to Stockholm, you get to go to Great Britain, you get to continue your hot girl summer. You know what the Ukrainian men were doing?
Dying.
Getting fucking massacred. So let's talk about privilege.
This is sad,
Let's talk
man.
about privilege.
And who are the people making them go to war? Men.
Doesn't matter.
So
It doesn't matter. And I mean, the
bro,
Ukraine.
this delusional dummy thinks that everything is peaceful and beautiful, rainbows and ships that are flying, and they have colors on them, and I love the flowers. Like what, bro? Real life is hard, lady. Okay, you don't even know what it is, because I'm not gonna get into it. I don't want to, but bro, like, if you haven't been through a lot in your life, especially if you are a woman, because a man's life is harder, shut the fuck up and go make a sandwich. Thank you.
Ukrainian military brass, or the president, they don't want to be in war. That was something that Russia instigated.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, but they have to defend their country.
At least they do it.
Okay.
We live very, very privileged lives.
They go to
Very
other
privileged.
countries, get fucked by other men.
If World War III, I'll tell you this: if
Or
World
woman.
War III is around the corner, there's no feminists when Russia invades.
Oh, feminism
no
goes out the window, man.
When China invades,
here. I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna do everything for you, baby. Oh yeah, we are at war. Oh. Obviously, the
I'll tell you
reality
that
hits
much.
the brain.
Okay. Nobody wants to go to
But
war, Brian.
what I'm saying
What?
is that
Okay, she said nobody.
what I'm saying is that all these things that you often complain about, like when shit hits the fan, we revert to our traditional gender roles.
W.
You can't have feminism when there's a military conflict.
A big W rather.
I would say y'all fought for equality for the longest time, and then society overcorrected, and now women have a little bit more privilege than men do, because like you said, men are drafted first.
Now listen, I'm not. Women were absolutely.
drafts still a thing?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Look-
Whenever
they
war,
weren't.
Look in
I
front
thought-
of you.
No, I'm just asking, like genuinely asking, because I thought like the military was so big they didn't have to do drafts anymore.
When it comes to World War III, they're gonna have to draft.
There would be a draft.
In any war, there's
also,
draft.
also, even if the likelihood there hasn't been a draft in a long time, however, there are still men alive today that were drafted. Many of those men got sent to Korea, got sent to Vietnam. Those men came back with catastrophic post-traumatic stress disorder. They saw horrific things. I don't know why the fuck we were in Vietnam to begin with. That's a whole nother conversation. But there are other, if you don't, as a man, if you don't register for the selective service, if you don't register for the draft, it's technically a felony. You can get fined $250,000. Also, if you don't register, you can't apply for federal student aid. You can't get like student loans or whatever. Also, you're barred from certain federal jobs if you don't register for the selective service as a man. There is no equivalent requirement for women to have to register, for example. So, and just to add to this thing, women were absolutely oppressed, but as were men. I don't want to make it a competition. What I guess what I'm trying to say is, and I think it's a terrible kind of shifting of history. For the longest period of time, life was so incredibly difficult for everyone. We live the most coddled, privileged, easy lives. Modernity has created like the comforts of modernity cannot be understated. Life was brutal.
Yeah, true.
Even 100, 200 years ago. It was difficult. Think about the things we take for granted. Electricity, plumbing, running water, hot water, showers 200 years ago. Imagine, bro, people get grumpy if they can't have a hot shower after a couple days. A shower their entire life. So it's just, what I'm trying to arrive at is that life was incredibly difficult for both men and women. Men and women fundamentally were partners. Men and women cooperated throughout all human history. And I think it's a disaster.
That's what men want. But most women don't want that anymore. They think that the boss babes, they can they don't need a man or whatever. They think that, but that's not the reality. When somebody hits the door or breaks in their house, who are gonna call? 911, what's your emergency? Bring 2 6 feet men here, buff as fuck, with huge guns, to help me out, please.
Retelling of history to say men oppressed women, women were the oppressed. It teaches women to basically have contempt for and hatred for men, when in reality it was a very small, very, very small percentage of men, and it's not necessarily because they were men that had all the power. So women had it hard in their own unique ways. Men have had it hard in their own unique ways. But I don't like this retelling of history that men were always the oppressor and women were the oppressed. Martin, thank you, man.
Nanny, you probably don't have to explain yourself to the kids you care for. However, in the real world, you cannot make aimless, ludicrous statements and not substantiate them. That hurts the validity of her claim. The oppressed nanny of girl. God bless you.
Yo, Martin, thank you, man.
W. Now it's a W, guys. Big W, big one. Like that big. 39 minutes. Oh man, perfect timing. Okay, guys, I'm out. Much love. Stay safe. Thank you for watching the video. I appreciate you all. And live your life, man. One life. Let's go. W. What's up, guys? Your boy Gribby still here. Guys, real quick, thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate it. I'm streaming on Twitch daily. If you want to support me, the link is in the description. And subscribe. Yeah.
Got me